Dean, and today we shall explore the vast horizons of what AI has to offer in terms of making cool images. So, we'll start with some general information about the model, but before that, we need to get started, right? We need to set it up for us to use. So, starting with setting it up, we're going to need to visit this site. I guess I'm gonna put it in the Zoom chat, I guess. Let me see. How do you even read chat? One moment. Let me stop sharing for a second so I can open chat. So I'm gonna be sharing a link. Okay, well, fortunately somebody did it for us, so I don't have to share it. There's a link in chat. I want all of you to click it so we can set up your own instance of the AI. And what we're going to do is we're gonna scroll down, and this is just some examples of things you can produce. Or if you get good enough, you might be able to produce something like this eventually. So scroll down, you're gonna see setup, and now you're gonna press open in Colab. So once you do that, you're gonna reach this page. Now, once you reach this page, you want to press these two buttons, this first and this. So I'm gonna do that. And it's gonna some kind of warning is gonna come up like this is not authored by Google, blah blah blah. You wanna run anyways. All right, that's a good sign. So there is a GPU available for you to use. Now we're gonna press the second one. Once this is a success, that means we're ready to set it up. All right. So I've already set up everything you need. So all you have to do is click the button, and in a second, it's gonna ask you for access to your Google Drive. Now, why is that? Because every time you generate something, it's going to store it in your Google Drive. So, like, if there's some sort of problem, any generation will always be stored in your drive. So you're not gonna lose anything you ever generated. So I'm gonna connect. Right. Connect to your Google Drive. Now, if any of you have questions or problems during this phase, you can let me know. But you shouldn't really have problems because everything's straightforward and we're running everything on a website. So nothing, no PC dependent things. Now, this means it's working. So while this is installing in the background, I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint and basically explain to you what exactly is we're going to deal with today. So these are just for offline folks, I guess. Like if you did not watch this video, you can still tune up. Very systematic. Now, how does Stable Diffusion work? Plain and simple, just magic. Might as well be. Now you feed it a piece of text, and it will return an image associated with the text you provided. Now, this is very complicated, okay? Even myself, I do not know the very deep mathematics of it, okay? But I know it's really complicated and there's no human alive who would be able to figure the mathematics behind everything like this. So, let me give you an analogy. How do they work? Remember in math or physics class, we'd learn formulas to solve for something like, for example, in physics, we used to take like speed equal distance over time. Well, funnily enough, Image generation AIs use a massive number of complicated formulas called differential equations with the sole purpose of using the text and then returning a grid or a matrix of pixels, which is basically our image. So it deals with a lot of equations, a lot of expressions, and then every equation would literally return like one pixel. Like imagine, okay, how many equations that is. So it's really complicated. Moving on. Now, how did we make the formula? That's a good question. Where did the formula come from? Now, this is this is the truly magic part. The AI figures out the formula by itself. Yeah, literally. The AI looks at photos, and then slowly but surely it learns the patterns behind the images. And then it figures out what the image is about. And then it connects all images like some sort of network. Now, what does this mean? Well, the data for the image that the AI makes is coming from somewhere, right? It needs to understand what image we want. Turns out the AI learned from various images and figured out a formula itself. Continuing on to what we talked about, for example, we give it loads of images of dogs and tell the AI that this is a dog. And it figures out the patterns from the many images of dog it learned from. And now it knows what a dog is. Okay, I'm looking at chat. Anyone else getting an error for run collab generate web UI? What error are you getting? It looks like it's working fine for me, I believe. Try using incognito. Try using incognito, see if that sometimes fixes these common bugs. All right, moving on. Now AI knows what a dog is. Now do the same thing, but with a billion other images. You see where I'm going with this? Billions of images. You could only imagine how many objects or content that is. Now, after absorbing and learning from billions of images, the AI creates its own formula that tries to predict what an image looks like from text. A formula like this is so complex that there is no human on earth that can ever understand it. It is a sophisticated prediction algorithm. We just take for granted how it works like black magic. It's like a black box, okay? You don't know what exactly is inside the black box. You don't, but you know if you ask the black box for something, it's gonna give it to you, and you're satisfied with that. You don't need to know what's in the black box, okay? For all you know, it could be reality shattering or something. Now, enough about what can it actually do. Ah, cat got your tongue. The image of the cat wearing those cool sunglasses in the previous slide was actually generated by Stable Diffusion. Using this text, a cat wearing sunglasses, colorful illustration, trending on ArtStation, dramatic lighting, concept art, high quality detail. So a lot of like tags is what we're gonna notice. Now I'll give you a few more examples just to give you an idea of how we'd make things with this. Like this image. This image is of a side portrait of a rugged girl, which, wearing magic school uniform, cinematic, elaborate, elegant, so tags, masterpiece, illustration, digital painting, concept art, trending on ArtStation, pixel art by this artist and this artist. So since the AI learns from billions of images, there's bound to be quite a few popular artists in there, okay? And their tags are present within the images. So when an art piece like theirs goes public, you know who created it. And the AI also knows who created it. So the AI is terrifying. It can replicate styles. Now this is of a detailed bust knight in whetstone, demonic, demon, twice apparently, symmetrical, by Greg Rutkowski. Now this tag by Greg Rutkowski, okay, I'm not sure if I'm butchering his name, but his tag is really widely used because he makes some ridiculous fantasy art of absurd proportions. Like, I have never seen art like his, and a lot of his art is present within the dataset used to train this AI. So everybody used it, and this person kind of got mad about that. People just keep creating art pieces, and they always have this tag by Greg Rutkowski. So imagine somebody uses it to create something like terrible. It's gonna kind of it's gonna have mixed opinions, really, because it also conflicts the arts when he had nothing to do with it. So we have all these other tags: digital art, monsters, art novio. I have no idea half of these. Baroque style, realistic painting, very detailed fantasy, D&D, Dungeon Dragons, or yeah, I guess. Character design, top-down line, trending on ArtStation. So you'll see a lot of repetitive tags. These are just like used to emphasize like the quality, okay? Because most of the tags, like for example, trending on ArtStation, that means there was a reason it's trending. It was probably high quality or something. Next one. A cute little dragon, black, gold, light blue, flowers, diamonds, highly detailed, art charm, Kushart Krenz, ArtStation, soft light, sharp focus, illustration, character design, concept art. So a lot of tags. It generates something beautiful like this that doesn't exist. And I'm quite wildly impressed, I gotta say. We have one of these as well. Now, Stable Diffusion, okay, is a very general model. So we have a lot of models out there, okay, and we have very specialized models that like work for categories like this, like anime, for example. There are specialized models just for anime, and they could do some ridiculous things, okay, like legit, like it's almost non-distinguishable from humans, like human art is insane. So that's like the other toggle within the Google collab I gave you guys. It's called Anything V3. It's a anime specialized model. So here's an attempt of Stable Diffusion trying to create something anime styled. So anime style, vivid, expressive, full body, 4K, painting, a lot of tags, long wavy black hair, stunning realistic shadow effects centered. They also mentions the studios and yeah, of studios and names, because of course Studio Ghibli is a very famous studio, especially for things like Grave of the Fireflies or those type of art styles, and its art is definitely present within the dataset. Okay, we've read a lot of text, okay? There's a lot of text involved. This is a new type of science called prompt engineering, okay? Now, there's so many weird but vague tags and they work, okay? It basically looks at how each word slash text adds slash contributes to the final image. So let's say like you didn't have this tag, okay, and then you had this tag. What's the difference between these two images? So this is the idea of prompt engineering to figure out how much a tag influences the final image. We can see various words like trending on ArtStation, art by artist name, which are vague but they actually work, since a lot of the images used to teach it were from popular artists themselves. So you can replicate an image in any popular artist style, even after death. Isn't that terrifying and awesome? All of these dead artists, like let's say there was an artist that you really liked his art, but unfortunately passed out, so but his art lives on, right? That same art can be used to train an AI that can literally recreate his art or art style. It's a completely new world. It features a lot of possibilities, and I'm really proud to be part of it. This just scratches the surface of what it has to offer. You can take a look at more examples at this website, Krea.ai. I'll just like open it just to check out what it's about. So you can see a lot of art pieces. You can scroll probably infinitely, and you can search for specific tags like let's say cat. So it's gonna I have no idea why this is here, but you're supposed to get a lot of cat related art, and fortunately for us, they also come with the prompt. So like you have this gorgeous art right here, it comes with the prompt. So you can copy and paste this, and you can figure out what part of it influences or makes up this image. There's way more as well. So you have a lot of modifiers. I guess this website called them modifiers. I like to call them tags, and they modify each differently. So I'll share that for later after the VOD. It's a site that stores the prompts for the art features, so you can figure out how to make something with similar or following the same style. Amazing. Yep. Speaking of amazing, it's about time that the AI we were running in the background finished preparing. Let's get back to the collab we had a minute ago. And well, would you look at that? We have this link right here. Now, we want to click the Gradio.app link. Now, once you do this, once you click it, you're going to be introduced to this wacky GUI with so many options. You're going to be so overwhelmed. But I assure you you're not going to use half of these features. There's only going to be a couple of features that you're going to actually find useful or easy to mess with to create something you want or inspire. So this is a universal GUI interface for interacting with the monstrosity, also known as Stable Diffusion or any other AI generation model. This is like a universal GUI. So it's not only limited to Stable Diffusion, you can also use it with other models. It's just a matter of just loading those models or downloading them. We're going to cover the most important essential features, as this GUI can do way more things than the one that I'll mention. It can do too many things, okay? Just too many. I'll leave that for another day, okay? The advances. This is not like an advanced course. This is just a basic or beginner's thing. Ooh, whoa, what's all this? Alright. Let's try generating an image. Now, that's what we're here for, right? We want to generate our own images. So, select the empty text prompt space. So, by empty, it means this area right here. So, you see how I have a dog wearing a tuxedo, art by Greg Rotzkowski, award-winning photograph trending on ArtStation? That's just like a prompt I put together because I wanted to know what it would look like. So, and select and type what you want to see. You can apply some of the previous tags. Yep, I did. See online. Once you have written something, press the big orange green button, generate button, and let it do its magic. So you see this orange generate button. Once you have written something, try clicking generate button. So I believe yep. So I believe I can write something. Let's see. What do I want to write? What about a cat wearing a military uniform? Don't ask. I just want. That's like the first thing that popped in my mind. Hyper realistic, maybe? I don't know. Hyper realistic 4K award-winning photograph. Let's see what it will make. Alright, I've written enough, and I'm not gonna talk about this part because this is a little bit more advanced, but this is the negative prompt section. So you basically write over here what you don't want to see in the image. Let's say you want an image of like cats and dogs, but there's like a human in the background. So you would put a human here or like a person, and then it's not gonna appear, or a human or a person not gonna appear in the later generations of the image. So let me press generate. For the first image, it's gonna take a little bit of time because it's still loading everything, but then it should be smooth sailing. So it should take a few seconds. And you can see it form real time. And wait for it. What would you know? You have a cat wearing a military uniform. I kind of got what I asked for. Although there's this cat over here, which is not exactly what I wanted, but I will talk about how to actually deal with this. So I'm gonna save this, I guess open a new tab for later. You'll see why. For later, I guess I'll just save image as. Yep. All right, I have saved the image. All right, so we have generated an image. Did you guys generate image? Well, tell me, guys, what did you generate? Let me know. I mean, I'm curious. I don't expect you guys to figure out the art behind or the art behind how this works, okay, or how to make a really good image, but it's a good start, okay. It's very easy. It's a good start. I, what is this chat? What am I looking at? Oh, Mel, you joined late. So scroll up. You can see the first link, and you scroll down. You're gonna find an open in collab button. You click that, and you press all the run buttons. So for a second, I'm just gonna go through for Melly. So go to this link. It's in the Zoom chat, and scroll down. Find the button that says open in collab and click it, which should lead you to this page right here. Now, what is this? It's basically a way to run these AIs without frying our PCs by running it with Google servers for free. Okay. Now, once you have reached this page, press this button and then press this button. So I put the red arrows. Press this button first and then the blue arrow. And it's gonna ask you like, can it like access your Google Drive? Because it needs to like store the images somewhere, right? So whenever you generate, it's always gonna directly store to your Google Drive. So like you never miss anything. So everything's like backed up. So you don't lose anything. So if you have generated something good and then some problem occurred, then well, no worries. It's in the drive. Anyways, after you do that, you can find the link, or it's gonna take a bit of time to set up, but you're gonna find this link. You click it, and then you're gonna reach this tab right here. Right. Moving on. Okay. We talked about this. All right. Congratulations. You have successfully used the GUI for the first time to produce your AI generated art. Now, what you have used is the mode called text to image. Basically, text input outputs an image. We have quite a few modes. Notice how it's extremely fast. That's because we're using Google Colab. The GPU is reserved just for us. Now hold on. That is only a small part. There's a lot of settings you can mess with to get close to what we want to make. Okay, so you see all of these settings. We did not touch them. We only touched the prompt section, but all of these kind of help you get to what you want to do. So I create a slide to explain. Now here are some settings we can modify. Sampling method. Sampling method is this area right here. Now we usually do not want to touch this because this is what dictates what kind of differential equations the model is going to use to generate the image. So usually what's set by default is probably the best. But if you want to mess around, if you have the time to experiment, then you can try other things. See like what does what better and etc. But I would recommend you stick to DPM++2M chars, which is like the default. Now we have sampling steps. This is basically how many times should the AI polish slash refine the art piece. So higher gives more detail depending on text use. So you see this cat, let's say I make it like 40. It's gonna produce something new, but I'm curious. So the lower it is, the less detail, and the higher it is, the more detail it would be. So it'd be more polished. Like you see, it's polishing it further. Like it's almost indistinguishable. Like you can see, there's a lot more detail than the previous one. Like you can see the reflection and I guess shading. So yeah, it gives it a bit more polish, depending on the model, though, right? Sampling steps can have different effects. Like let's say you're using a model for 3D models, okay, something like 3D animated models. Then, like high number of steps could mean like realistic, like realism, 3D art, and lower steps could be like more cartoonic 3D art. So yeah, so like less detail, it's more cartoonic and so on. We have the height to width, it's self-explanatory, right? The dimensions of the output image. It is better to keep it at what it is by default as it's the most accurate. Also, I believe most of the art that was trained was within 512 x by 512. So it's like it has a highest chance of producing something good using 512 x 512. But we can experiment, like let's try messing with the width, for example. Let's make something longer. See what happens. Now, when you're changing width, it's preparing to make something else. Oh, it created a person. Nice. This is the sort of things I expected to happen, right? What about a dog? Let's try a dog. And looks like we might have another human. Nice. Ah, the dog's wearing a military uniform, so it kind of does. Let's see. Let's see if we can put human or person. Let's see if this works. Oh, would you look at that? It does work. Okay. Well, of course it's gonna work. This is native prompt, so whatever you don't want. I put butterfly on my stomach, and my pic came out. Looks like a result from those. What did you expect? You have to be a little more specific. Like this AI prefers you to be as specific as possible. Like a dog wearing a military uniform. So you have to like specify a lot. Like, is it wearing? Is it like? Is it on it? What's the detail? Like, if you try to put something vague like butterfly on my stomach, then it's something like that's gonna happen. Yeah. Uh, I like you're kind of asking for what? You're kind of asking for hospital, like you know those I guess you know those pictures where you have like a picture of a stomach or something, like sort of like this. The only instances where like a stomach would come to play is, I believe, those pictures. So if you say something in your stomach, then you're not gonna get you're really not gonna get what you're trying to get, okay? In any case, here you go. This is a really nice image. I like this one a lot. um let's look at the other ones. So this is like what, 512x by 768. I'm gonna set it back to 512 for usable. CFG scale. How much you want the AI to focus on the text prompt. 7 is the default. Less than it means less focus on the text. More than it means more focus. Useful if AI misses detail in text. Let's say you have some text, okay? And there was a detail that the AI missed. Like let's say instead of a uniform, it had like what, a casual outfit, okay? So this is basically a mistake by the AI not prioritizing the word or text as much. So for those situations, we would change CFG scale, and what this does is it makes it focus more on the words, puts more priority on the words. So it's going to be more influenced by whatever text you have here. So be sure to not put it very high, because if you go 12 and higher, then it's gonna kind of do weird things. Let's see. Like if I have it 12, I wonder what it's gonna do. Oh, okay. Well, it looks the same. Okay, all right. Okay, it looks like it still works fine. It's just like depending on the prompt. Dog is a really famous prompt, so I mean, it doesn't. It really knows what a dog is, so it's not gonna have any problems with that. But depending on the prompt, it might have big problems if you try to do something really specific. So it's really a matter of balancing. But it's all trial and error, right? So you trial and error. Batch size and batch count. I'm going to talk about these two at once. So batch size is basically how many, or every time you click the big orange generate button, how many images do you want to generate? Okay. So let's say I have like two, and I press generate. So this is batch count. So that means every time I press generate, it's going to produce two images, or it's going to run two different turns. Okay, the first turn will be for producing one image, and the second turn will be for producing one image. So you can see I produced two images right here. All right, now batch size is in one turn it produces multiple images. I don't know how it does that, but yeah. So let's say I have one and I have it on four. So that means once it's done producing one image, it's going to also produce three other images. I have no idea how this works, but it's a really cool feature because you can combine these two and you can have hundreds of images. Okay, trust me, I left it running like for a few hours. Okay, and I ended up having like over 1,000 images. Okay, I don't need that many images, but I had to see how far it would go. But yeah, if you want to do that, you can produce 1,000 images, like by a mixture of batch count and batch size. So I'd prefer you keep the batch size between 6 to 8, because it really depends on the RAM of the GPU, how much RAM the GPU has, so it can like deal with multiple things at once, multiple images producing at the same time. So 6 to 8 is like the max, preferably. Okay, six. I prefer six, but you can produce any number of count, because that's just number of turns, right? The more time, there's no limitation, just the more time you have, the more you can do basically. So if I want, I can produce 200 times 6 images, so you multiply them and that's how many images you're gonna get after it's finished. And seed. Okay, now seed is very useful for um, modifying an image you already got. Okay, let's say I have this image right here. Okay, I don't remember the seed. Okay, but let's say I set a seed like lol or something, I don't know. Hmm. All right. Oh crap, I pressed. Okay, all right, let's see if I can interrupt it. All right, in any case, that's not what I wanted to do, because I had a batch size, so it's going to take longer, and I should probably reduce this. Okay, that's more like it. Make it 30. Okay, lol. So I have the seed set on lol, and it generated this art. Now, since I have seed stuck on something, okay, like one instance or one string or one unique, I guess, unique character, string or text, it's going to, if I try pressing generate again, I believe it's going to generate the same image again. Interestingly so. Let's see. Oh, it's generating a different image. Is it not working? Okay, let me try this. If I generate again, There you go. Okay. So you can see it generates like the same image. And the useful part about this is if you already have a good image and you want to change the bit, like maybe add a little bit more quality, then you can probably add on to this image. Like let's say what do I want? Let's see, I want to see what's the difference with all these tags, for example. Let's see what happens. Well, it still starts the same post, but you can see the image change somehow. Okay, there's like a distinct difference. What if I say wearing a something else? Wearing a t-shirt. A what? Red t-shirt. Well, let's see. Okay. Well, you could see kind of like it's the same dog, interestingly so. It's the same dog, but it kind of still retains like the previous image or the idea or idea inspiration about the previous image. So like the atmosphere and everything, it retains that. So when you set a seed, similar seed or the same seed as something you generated previously, then it's gonna base it off kind of that. So that was the seed does, and that's all of the options we're going to talk about text to image. So that was text to image. Okay. Now moving on, we're going to be talking about another mode. It is called image to image, and yep, you put an image and another image comes out. What? Useful for producing a variation of an existing image or applying a filter-like effect. Yeah. So if you have a good image and you want to see how much it branches or how different it can be from this image, then this is your tool for the job. Okay. Or you can use it to apply like a filter-like effect because you pass in an image and comes up the same image but has like some kind of filter depending on the prompt. So how do we access this image to image function? We go to our GUI and press this image to image button. Now the GUI is a little bit different. Okay, it's bigger. Well, that's obvious because we need to upload an image, right? So that's exactly why we have our previous image. Boom. All right. So we have this image from before, and we can, I guess, modify it if you want. So let's say, what about what do I want? This is putting me on the spot, huh? A dog holding a gun, or not a dog, or a cat shooting a gun into the air. Let's see what happens if I do this. A military uniform shooting a gun into the air. Art by Greg Rutkowski. Trending on ArtStation. Trending on ArtStation. Our doing polygraph. There you go. All right. So I have an idea about what I want. I guess I want the gun to shoot or something. And let's see. So we have a few different settings, but it's not a big deal. It's not most of them are the same as what we've taken before. Let's see what kind of thing it's gonna produce. All right. Ooh. Oh. What is this? Well, it did make kind of like the cat wearing the suit shooting. Yeah, it did make it, but I want it a little bit more polished. Let's see. Hopefully, it's gonna make something better because that face is too small for the body. Is it shooting itself? I can't tell. Okay, now you can see there's a similarity. Okay, I'm gonna be talking about the features or the various settings it has. Okay, So how to use image to image. If you have already generated an image, then that would be the ideal image to use, as the width and height matches up by default. So by default, the width and height is 5x12 by 512. So you don't have to deal with any resize or image dimension problems. You drag and drop, so if you want, you can drop over here or you can select. And there are a few new options. So there's only 2 options that comes with it that are new. So resize mode deals with images of different dimensions. So if you have an image that's like bigger than this, but you have your width and height set to like 512, which is smaller than the image itself, then this is just like how this is like a system to deal with those sort of images. So it would just resize it to fit that dimension, right? And denoising strength, it is the closer it is to 0, the less the image changes. And the closer it is to 1, the more the image changes. Useful for preventing massive changes between variants. So this is what I meant by like a filter like effect. Like let's say I have this like maybe 0.5 and say like Pixar or something, I don't know. Let's see what pops up. That's not exactly what I wanted. Pixar cute cat wearing a uniform, wearing a soldier's uniform. Uniform, if I can spell. Uniform and art by Greg Rutkowski, Unreal Engine. Let's see what happens. Alright. Hopefully something better, maybe. I don't know. Pixar's art style is definitely in this. Could be better. Could be better. It's worse than the original image. Interesting. Well, that's because I set it to 0.5. Now, the less I make it, the less I can change the image, right? So it really tries too hard to change. If I set it to 1, it's gonna be completely different, I believe. So just changing it a bit. So we have a high quality thing and it's not doing very good. Let's see, maybe prompt it more. Maybe that's probably why. A lot of trial and error. Let's see if we can get something better. Hopefully. Oh, that looks convincing. Okay, that's doable, I guess. That's doable. I see the Pixar-like style, and you can see it retains, or it's kind of like a different variant of this image, but I use different tags. So there's like the filter like effect. You can probably like put the image of your face and then put like anime, and then you're gonna get like an anime version of your face. But yeah, if you want to, you can do that. Yeah. So that was this is an example. So like I had this tuxedo dog art by Gregor trending in ArtStation, and then I put it into a variant, and then I called it anime dog. This is what it made. Nice. I don't know where the anime part is, but I feel like it's a bit cartoony then. Not so anime. Now, last but not least, my favorite tool. Okay, I left the best for last, guys. Behold, in painting. What is in painting? It allows you to manually draw over the part you want to change in the picture. So you only change one specific section with a new prompt. Why is this my favorite? Because it is very powerful. It can be the ultimate Photoshop tool. Think about it, okay? You have people in the background in your selfies, just and boom, they're gone. It just blends perfectly with the background because the AI knows like how to blend backgrounds because it already saw a lot of this well, a lot of these images. So yeah, so that's like one instance of Photoshop. You can, for example, make what? You can probably give your, let's say you have an image of a cat. You can change like a section of his body and then give it like a flag tattooed on its body if you want. Like that's just a very small example. I don't have any really good examples in my mind right now, but the best use I have for something like this is, what if you're like graphic designing, you have a logo, but you don't know how to go further, then you can just, or you don't know how to, I guess, what? You don't know how to change this section, like to make it better or fit better. You can mask this section or draw over this section and give it a prompt like logo or something, and then the AI is gonna give you its interpretation of what logo it should be. So you can get really inspired by it. Okay, it's a prototype machine. It's a prototyping inspiration machine. Okay? Now I'm gonna show you an example with this image especially. I wanna see if I can remove this cat because this cat is kind of in the way. Let's see, open image in a new tab. I believe I have it saved. So now, how do I access in painting? In painting is access like this. There you go. Now I upload an image. Let's see, I have an image like this. Boom. Now, as you can see, when I hover over the image, you can see there's a black dot. This is basically when I left click it, it allows me to like raise a part of it. So I want to raise this part. God, first, boohoo. And let's say background. What do you think, guys? We have a few more settings, but you can leave them for now. They're not very big deal. The default settings are much better. You already know some of the settings like sampling and stuff. Denoising, you know it. Um, a lot of it is same, and let's see what happens. Will it work? Will it successfully remove the cat from the image? Oh, what is this? Huh? I'm trying to look at it. Huh. Can't tell what that is. Let's say just wheat background. Unreal Engine. There you go. Let me see. Hopefully, it's gonna be better. I think it's supposed to be clothes. Yeah, it's supposed to be. Oh, it's supposed to be like. It's trying to. You see this big sniper? It's trying to make the handle for it. So as you could see, we did get rid of the cat that was in the way of the picture. So here's the Photoshop tool you all needed. You can, let's see if I can find some random art piece on the internet. Okay, let's see. Um, tourist spot. Yeah, let's see. Ooh, this is a good image. Let me yoink this right now. Okay, there we go. Um, and go back over here, paste it over here. Oh yeah, it's remove this and then paste it. Boom. Okay, now you can see this image is a bit bigger, so we need to deal with this and increase the size so that it fits. Need to change the width mostly. There you go. Okay, that should work. Okay, now it's now the images that will be produced is as big as this. Let's say I want this boat gone. Okay, so I don't know what this is, but so the boat is gone now. I'll just say background, ocean, background, ocean, background, HD 4K. Okay, let's see what happens. Beach. Oh, generate. Will it remove the boat? Wonder. Now, since it's a bigger image, when you're dealing with different resolutions, this will kind of happen. Take a little bit of time to formulate and. Oh. Any moment now. Ah, there you go. The boat is gone, folks. Well, you can see there is there is some. Well, usually you will not notice this, but there. Well, it is kind of hard to do all of the reflections. I should probably do it in a higher steps to polish this even more. But you can see the point, right? The boat disappeared. Okay, and unless you're looking at it from like up close, you won't notice all of these annoying pixels over here. Okay. So that's all of the features that I have to give out today. Um, if you're telling me to generate hands with it, oh, how would I improve it? That's a good question. We're out of time, but this is fun, so I'm really interested in how I can go further with this. So let me make this area bigger. Okay, let me make this area bigger. And what if I put like beach, or beach, I don't know, people, tourists, umbrella, chairs, I don't know, chairs, beach party, 4K HD. Yeah, why not? Okay, there you go. Let's see. Will this work? I wonder. It's quite a small area that, oh, it looks promising. Am I the only one saying this? Am I the only one saying this? That's so much better than before. There's people. Uh, this photo is real, guys. Okay, there's people. Yeah. This is the thing, right? You can make things that didn't exist before exist. Okay, let's say you are like holding like air. You can literally raise the section, put like a cat over here, and you're holding a cat. No Photoshop skills required, really. All you have to do is just like draw, and boom, you have a cat now in your arms. Could you believe it? That was a good good idea. Thank you, Steve. Jordan Greg is an artist. He specializes in epic fantasy like art. Okay, like beyond world, like I don't know, out of this world art, fantasy. That's why he's popular. Photoshop who? I know, right? Yeah, an art style. Okay, so he can. So if you put like his name in anything related to art, then it usually makes it better. So I like to have his name when I generate images because it makes it better. So unfortunately, we're out of time, but I really wanted to show the anime version because the anime version is really cool. I mean, it's kind of insane, but we'll leave that for another time, okay? We'll leave that as like some kind of spoilers. If you want to check that out, it's already set up with the collab that I gave you guys. It's literally like a checkbox, like it says anything V3. So if I go back here, go back up, you see this? I didn't have time for this, so I didn't check it up. But you can check this and rerun this, and you're gonna have the AI model, anime model. So, and the way you flip this is you flip this and you choose the anything V3 model, and there you go. You now have an anime model, and the anime model is superb. That's like the most used model I have. Whew. Okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's